Why wait? She's from Wisconsin.
Ghost Hunters, when the view returns on ABC.
Like a pro she is.
What happened today?
On the TV show Ghost Hunters, two guys who are plumbers by day spend their evenings plumbing the depths of the great beyond. Who wrote that?
That's good.
And beyond. And sometimes even the pros get spooked. Check it out.
Film in this room right here.
What?
Oh my gosh, that freaking made me about crap my pants.
What'd you see?
I just saw a face. Oh my gosh, that scared the crap out of me. Oh my gosh. You see anything?
No, I was facing the other way.
I shined the light through the window, and when I did that, I saw a face staring back at me.
Please welcome my friends Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson, the Ghost Hunters.
Thank you for having us.
How are you? So everybody wants to know how is it possible that two plumbers, just sort of plumbing stuff, become ghost hunters?
Well, actually, it happened long before that. We started TAPS back in 1990, which stands for the Atlantic Paranormal Society.
Oh,
Yep. And you know, from there, we became plumbers. Well, I became a plumber about 10 years ago. Grant shortly after that. So, but yeah.
Is there something about the pipes that they?
Well, actually, it's nice because a lot of people are very quick to jump to the paranormal realm when they hear a noise or whatever in their house, and having plumbing experience or electrical experience will help you debunk that. And that's what we mainly go about doing.
When you arrive at a place, you'll do these scientific tests. Your organization does that to see if something's haunted, right?
Yeah, but there's so much more that goes into it. When we go out, we're believing that 80% of all claims can be disproved. So we're going in and we're trying to really look for the explanation. And we've dealt with everything from pipes banging in the walls, pipes heating up the floor, making it sound like footsteps through a house, overactive imaginations, everything.
What's the most clear test you can do? Is there one test can you give us an example of one?
Honestly, usually looking in the medicine cabinet. Well, we've had people mix new prescriptions, old prescriptions, and make a hallucinogen.
Okay. Yeah.
We had a woman go through menopause and didn't realize it and thought she was getting haunted.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
That one made me laugh because I thought, but for the grace of God goes whoop. So now, tell us the difference between the human and inhuman hauntings, because I don't know if people understand that.
Well, human haunting is just like you and I after we pass. We're trying to communicate, just like what was talking with James.
Right.
You know, it's the tug on the clothes, the pulling down the bed sheet, you know, the calling out your name, moving small objects that really startle people. And then you have your inhuman, which a lot of people automatically assume is a negative type thing because people think demonic.
Monster.
Yeah, but it's not always that.
Talking horns.
You've got, under inhuman, it's anything that's never walked the earth in human form. So you've got angelics, you do have demonics, you have your incubus and succubus, known as sexual predators, and you have your elemental type activity, little nature spirits.
What was that?
So ones you really don't want around.
I missed that. You did it too fast for me. What was that?
I'm sorry, I've been doing it so long.
Incubus.
Your incubus and your succubus, which have been spoken about since way back in Roman times. They're the sexual predators.
Okay.
Those are usually very rare. I mean, what you encounter most often are just people who had lives and families and jobs, aspirations that are now dead.
So sometimes it's a ghost, and sometimes it's a plumbing problem. Is that what we're dealing with here?
And
Okay, so
and sometimes
or
it's just paranormal. There's paranormal and there's a haunting, two totally different things. Don't get me wrong, a haunting can fall under paranormal.
Okay.
But paranormal, an object moving on its own, is paranormal, above the normal of what we're used to. But a ghost moving that, now you can call it a haunting.
We actually have a clip of you guys in action in Fort Delaware. Can you set that up for us?
Sure. Grant and I we were walking down a long corridor that feeds to where they have the cannons. They used to be able to protect the fort. And as we were walking down there, it's very dark, so you've got the thermal imaging camera, which Grant has, and it's giving off light. So you're trying to pay attention so you don't walk into the walls. And all of a sudden, something stepped out at the end of the hallway and then turned and walked back in.
Okay.
So.
Okay, check this out.
Jay thought he had seen something out of the corner of his eye. No way. No way. What the heck? I have no idea. It looked like there was a person at the end of the hallway that walked from the right to the left, turned around, and walked back over. Did you see this?
I saw a red thing on the side of the camera, but that's gonna be...
There's got to be somebody down here. So I want to see if we can catch somebody. Yeah, go look.
So
Okay.
it was interesting.
They do most of your work at night. Do they ever appear during the day?
Yeah, it all depends on where when the claims of activity are mainly heard. Most claims, most reports of paranormal activity are between the hours of 8 p.m. and 4 a.m.
Is it just because people are more afraid because it's dark?
Well, that's also because people, that's when they're home. That's when they're home from their day
It's
jobs.
quiet.
They're settling in.
It's also when amateur paranormal investigators have free time. I mean, you got to work during the day.
Oh, go ahead.
So, what is the scariest place you've been? I already know the answer to this, but what's the scariest place you've been and why?
Well, scariest.
My wife was giving birth, maybe.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I got 5 kids, so that could be going
You have
home
5
sometime.
kids.
Yeah, I got 5 kids. So, you know, honestly, I don't look at places as scary. The scariest things we've dealt with have to be the homeowners.
Oh, yeah.
Because you never know whose house you're walking into. We've walked into...
Exactly.
We walked into a nice little old lady's house
Yeah, the ghosts are fine.
who totally forgot she invited us in 20 minutes later and came chasing after us with a frying pan.
Well, because she kind of shuffling. She was a little old.
We had
but-
time to get away, don't get me wrong.
Can anybody do this, or you just? I mean, do you have a special thing that you?
Anybody can do it,
Yeah.
but you really got to have your wits about you just because you don't know whose home you're going into.
Yeah.
And also, you're giving advice and counsel to these people, so you can't just be anybody off the
Do
street.
you charge
gotta-
them for it?
No, it's
Oh,
free.
it's free.
Yeah, we don't charge because the rich, the poor, everybody has these problems. So by us charging, we're only helping the people who can afford
If
us.
someone breaks in your home, you can call the police. You know, if your house catches on fire, you can call the fire department.
Who are you gonna call?
Who you gonna call?
Yeah, right.
So listen, you can catch the Ghost Hunters Wednesday nights on the Sci-Fi Channel. Check it out. It will scare you at night. I'm not fooling around. It will scare you. And we'll be right back. Ooh.